Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I am so excited to share with you DIY Dollar Tree decor crafts. So this is another episode in my huge I Love Fall series. I love to share with you guys how you can make your homes boutique gorgeous on a teeny tiny budget. Now let's go ahead and plug in those glue guns, get out your glitter and paint, and let's get to crafty.
For the first Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take these two Dollar Tree signs and I'm going to remove the top little hangers, and then I'm going to chalk paint them white. What I want to create is a really neat little door hanger for my front door. So my idea is to chalk paint this white and then cut it down to make it look like a garden planter. I've seen these online and they're so adorable. I thought we could make our own. So the next thing I want to do is measure out 2.5 inches on either side of my sign. The next step with my ruler is to just draw a straight line from the edge and then take my crafting tool and make about 3 cuts on either side. So I'm going to bend this apart, which actually the Dollar Tree signs bend fairly easily. I do usually take just a bit of sandpaper and kind of smooth off those rough edges. Also taking this Harvest Blessings sign, and I'm going to remove the little Harvest Blessings part and save it for later. And then I'm just going to take and trim this sign down. I want to make a little top kind of decorative piece for the top of my little garden planter. So I'm just scoring it about 3 times, and then I just take and I bend it back and forth, and that's going to be the decorative top to my planter. So this stuff is definitely optional. If you guys don't have the Harvest Blessing sign, you could just use one of the square signs and call it good. I'm also going to chalk paint the top of this with my Waverly white chalk paint. I just love this. It's such a nice base coat to lay down. And then I do let it dry about an hour before I begin to work on it further. The next step is I decided to add some stripes to my little garden planter. So I'm taking my ruler and I'm just drawing stripes across the entire thing, and I'm using my ruler to measure the stripes to try to get them as even as possible. And then once I have that finished, I can go ahead and get my black paint out, and I'm going to do black and white stripes on my planter. Now you all customize this to suit whatever color of your decor that you're working with. Maybe you're doing pink and white or green and white or red and white. You could also customize this to suit different holidays. So I'm using my black paint and I'm very carefully adding stripes, and I do notice that if I add a little bit of water to my brush, just a tiny bit, it will help me draw my stripes on better. If you have a hard time working with a paintbrush, I also recommend a paint pen. That will help you outline your lines just a little bit straighter and better. You could also use painter's tape. That would help as well. The next thing I did was I hot glued this little yardstick from Dollar Tree to my garden planter. And then I'm going to take 4 of the little Dollar Tree scarecrow brooms, and I removed the scarecrow tops. And again, thank you, April, for sending me these scarecrows. And I'm just going to go ahead and hot glue them to this rung on the little garden stake. I did remove the bottom rung from the garden stake. And if you don't have the garden stake, that's totally fine. You could use a extra large paint stick or a ruler to attach to this part. The next thing I did was wire my brooms on just to give them a little bit of extra support, and then I started working with some pretty greenery. You've probably seen me use this greenery. I usually use the majority of my flowers over and over and over, and I love this lime green kind of popped in to the base of it. So the next thing I want to do is take some Dollar Tree little leaves and just hot glue them in and around the base of my little planter here, and then also beginning to decorate it up the top. So this step, of course, is optional, but I am just adding them over where that sign part was because I really want it to look more like a floral. And after I was done with this, you guys, I added so many leaves. Oh my goodness, it just was really blooming out. So really customize this to suit your decor. Use whatever color of leaves or pretty flowers that you're decorating with. You could even make this with roses, or make it with some little greenery, just whatever you guys love. I'm doing loads of leaves and then some pops of greenery at the base. Now I'm going to make a really simple little bow with my easy bow maker, but it's okay if you guys don't have this bow maker. You guys can always watch my bow video. I'm going to link it down below. It's from Christmas, but I share with you guys an Olivia bow, which is a really nice bow to make. I just am kind of cheating with the easy bow maker. I've kind of been playing with this. It's like my new toy. So I'm taking this Dollar Tree gingham ribbon and I measured about 6 inches across, and then I'm just going to dovetail my ends by cutting a triangle upward, and then I'm taking some of this Dollar Tree green ribbon and I'm layering that on top of the black and white buffalo check plaid ribbon. I will tell you that the buffalo check plaid ribbon from Dollar Tree was a bit flimsy. I do like this ribbon though a little bit better. It has a lot more sturdiness to it, which I like because I like to fluffy out my bows. The next layer I decided to use was some orange ribbon, and again I'm just crisscrossing it back and forth, this easy bow maker, and I'm doing it about 6 inches on either side. I guess what I love about the easy bow maker is it has a measuring tool already on there, so it helps your bows be like really symmetrical, and I really recommend this. It's probably my favorite bow maker out there. And then I'm using this ribbon. I actually ordered this on Amazon, and it's some black and white stripe ribbon because I want to tie in that black and white base that we just painted for our planter. And so again, I'm going about 5 to 6 inches across. I begin to make my loops a little bit smaller as I get closer to the end of my ribbons. Don't forget to dovetail those ends. That'll give you a really beautiful boutique bow. Now I'm adding some pretty plaid ribbon in from Dollar Tree. I used a lot of different ribbons on this. You guys know me. I love to use tons of ribbon, but you know, if you are not super crazy about going over the top, you know, scale back, use what you have. But I do love to add loads of layers. That's why I love the Dollar Tree ribbon, because I can just go crazy with my bows. Again, I'm dovetailing those ends by cutting an upward triangle on either side to give it that pretty boutique finish. It's just something that will help it look a little bit more high end. I did go in with this pumpkin ribbon. I was hoping to tie in the greens and the oranges and the black and white, and I kind of went back and forth on this because I wasn't totally for sure if I was loving it, but it ended up working as far as I can tell. You guys will have to be the judge, but I was pretty pleased with it. So this is going to be the last layer. I pulled it off the bow maker, and then I'm just using this little twist tie. It's just a little pipe cleaner to twist tie it together and tie it in the back. And then once I have that done, that the most important part, you guys know my favorite part of all, is going to be fluffing my bow. So I love to go loop by loop and put my hand in there and really fluff that bow. So you want your little bow parts to stand up. So to do that, you just have to pull and fluff and pull and fluff, but don't pull too hard because you can pull your bow apart, which I have done before. So fluff, but don't fluff too hard. Anyway, keep on having fun with that bow, and then you're just going to wire it on to your pretty arrangement. So I just wired it on to my little set of brooms here with some Dollar Tree floral wire. Once I had that done, I decided to go even more over the top. You guys know me, I just love to go crazy with my florals, and I added in these pretty Dollar Tree picks and some green berries just for a bit of greenery to kind of pull in the bow and all of those pretty colors. And these are just the Dollar Tree picks with the little pumpkins on them. They have pumpkins and pine cones. I think they're so festive for the holiday and super fun, and they just gave it so much color and liveliness, which I love for fall. It's so lively and colorful. The next thing I decided to add were these pretty sparkling picks, and I love these. They're already on the stick. You just add some hot glue to the end, pop them in, you're good to go. And then they have this Dollar Tree, I call it Ting, but you add hot glue to the end of that, and you can add a little bit more sparkle. Again, this just gives your arrangement different dimension, and just for your eye to just have something to kind of dance over is how I feel about that. So I am really loving how this is coming out, but I decided we needed to add a character to it. So I'm taking this little trimmed off piece of the Mackenzie Child's ribbon, and I'm just going to hot glue it to this cute little Dollar Tree owl. I'm adding a dab of hot glue to the back of the owl's head, and then I'm just going to pull this little piece of ribbon around the front, and that gives this owl a fresh new look and just kind of some whimsy, and it's going to add in to that black and white look that I'm going for. The next thing I thought my little owl needed was a little bit of black and white check ribbon underneath. So I tucked it underneath his wings and then just hot glued his wings kind of back down. And that way he has a little shirt on that matches his hat. Now this owl is not going to be complete until I add some over the top sparkle and shine with one of my jewels. So I love these jewels. They're from totallydazzle.com. You could also use some broken jewelry or a little memento keepsake that maybe you've had in your jewelry box. But these jewels are amazing. They come in different packs where you have gold or rose gold or silver, and I have a little bit of each of them. But they're so inexpensive. You guys will absolutely love them. I'll leave a link for you guys down below if you want to check it out. I just love Natalie. She's a little small business, and so I just love ordering from her. So here it is with the little bow tie, and then I decided to go even a little bit more extra. I removed the little button, which the button was cute, you guys, but I thought he needed to be a really fancy owl. And I just think that's a fun thing to do, is to take some of your accent pieces and add some character and some whimsy. That's how you're going to see them in a high-end boutique. They're going to go out on a limb and use lots of creativity. So I added a huge dollop of hot glue and then hot glued my little owl into the arrangement. I did add in even a little bit more florals and a little bit more sparkle and shine with a couple of ribbons up top. Here is how it came out. Oh my goodness, you guys, this door hanger is so fun and festive and fabulous, and I just know he is going to bring a smile to everybody's face. And since I have been out a lot inside and outside my house now because I'm walking my puppy dog, I want something pretty to look at, and you can tell it's still summer here. I haven't done my big over my door garland yet, but this is definitely going to be the inspiration piece. A lot of you all asked me about my front door. I actually bought it from my neighbor's garage sale years and years ago, so I don't have a link for you, but they do have pretty screen doors at Lowe's. I have seen some similar. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, again, I'm going to use this thankful, blessed sign, and I'm just going to chalk paint it white. In fact, this is going to be very similar to the DIY that we just did. So you're going to use 2 of these, and we're getting double use out of that Harvest Blessings sign. So just go ahead and chalk paint it a really goody heavy coat of white, and then let that dry for about an hour. The next thing I want to do is measure my sign about 2.5 inches on either side, and then once I have it measured, I'm just going to draw a line from the top of the sign down to where my measurement was. I want to create a fun little kind of latte welcome sign, so I'm going to take my crafting tool and I'm going to make about 3 cuts here or scores here on the little Dollar Tree sign, and then you could just take it and kind of wiggle it back and forth and it should pop apart fairly easily. And if you need to, you can take some sandpaper to kind of sand down any rough edges. The next thing I want to do is take my Harvest Blessing sign, and again we removed that front part of the Harvest Blessing, and I took and I scored the Harvest Blessing sign, and this is going to create the top to my little cafe latte, little Harvest Blessings, little coffee drink. I've seen these on Pinterest and they're so adorable. So I'm just going to take and measure this to try to get the top part for the fit, and then I'm just going to chalk paint the top part of this white. Again, this is going to be kind of my whipped cream topper. I was so excited to figure out how to do this. I've been running it in my mind trying to figure out how to make one of these out of Dollar Tree supplies, and here is how you guys can do it. So I'm just taking my ruler and I'm just separating it by drawing a little spot here because I want to create like the little center part of my coffee piece, and then I decided to add some little loops here to my whipped cream. So I'm just taking my marker and I'm drawing it out. This is basically where I'm going to paint, and I'm actually going to share with you guys 2 different ways that you can paint this because I painted it one way and then I decided I wanted it to look differently, but I thought I'd share both of them with you. So the first way that I did this was I just drew out my little polka dots. I decided to have polka dots on my cup, and so I'm just drawing out the polka dots. I ended up painting over this though and just using my little sponge brush to make the polka dots with, so that's also an option. I'm also taking my ruler and drawing stripes on my little cafe latte cup, and again I did end up painting over these, so I thought it would be fun just to share with you guys. My projects don't always go perfectly, and sometimes I rework them just because I'm not happy with it the first time around, but maybe this will give you guys some inspiration. So for this first look, I decided to paint my polka dots kind of a gray color and then my cup kind of like a cafe au lait color. And I will suggest for you guys to paint your base color first before you paint your polka dots. Just a little tip that I learned as I was going about this. But again, you know, you guys have to learn as you go sometimes. So this is how I went about this, and I just did the same pattern on the top as well. I'm now taking some orange paint, and I actually just took some yellow and red and brown paint, and it was acrylic paint, and I just mixed it all together. I had a mishap with my orange fall paint. I dropped it on the ground and it spilled everywhere, so now it looks like the floor of my studio has had a pumpkin mishap. Something bad has happened to a pumpkin in my studio, but you guys just go with it. Again, I'm just painting these stripes and the cute little pumpkin, and then I'm going to move on and make some really adorable sprinkles to the top part of my cup. Now I'm using some of that same cafe au lait, kind of pretty brown, and I'm just outlining the little whipped cream topping that I had drawn out. I'm using a smaller brush to give me a little bit more control, but again, if you're not super confident with a paintbrush, I really suggest to try out a paint marker or even a paint pen. They even sell some that are really nice at Dollar Tree. I also love to get them at Michael's. I think you get a little bit more longevity out of them. But again, I'm just using some white and some cafe au lait, and I'm just kind of mixing them together, and I'm leaving the whipped cream part white because that would normally probably be white, but you guys could color a different color. It might be really cute to do like a pink. I just thought of that. That would be super cute to have a pink pumpkin a little drink. Now I'm just using my smaller paintbrush and I'm adding in some sprinkles to the top. I chose kind of the pumpkin color and then like a green and a gray. Again, I wanted it to kind of mix in with the rest of my little drink here. Once I was done adding sprinkles, I had just hot glued 2 popsicle sticks to the top of my little drink, and I did chalk paint them white, and then I used some orange paint to make some stripes with. And you can tell I tried to draw out happy fall, y'all. I thought that would be a really cute saying, and then I got super insecure about how my lettering looked. Even though I was going to go back over it and try to make it look really pretty, I just wasn't confident with how it looked. So I ended up painting over the entire thing and starting over with the base of my cup. So here's how it looked after I started over. I decided just to paint the cafe au lait part on the top and the bottom, and then just do the orange in the center. I thought I would show you guys both ways because it might inspire you all, and it might also help you guys know to give yourself some grace. Crafting doesn't always go perfect, and in fact, I think Bob Ross said that there's always some happy little accidents. So maybe it doesn't look exactly like the Pinterest picture or how you had imagined, but I bet it looks awesome, and I bet next time you might do even a little bit better. So give yourself some grace and keep trying. I decided it would be super adorable and that the little dots would be a lot more symmetrical if I just used my Dollar Tree sponge brush, which I love for doing polka dots. These are the best investment I think I've done so far, or one of them, in my little crafting Dollar Tree arsenal as far as Dollar Tree craft supplies are. But you just dunk them into the paint and then you just twist them on and you have the most perfect polka dot, because for some reason polka dots are really hard for me to paint, but I think they're looking fabulous. And then you can just take some black and white paint swirl to highlight them even a little bit more. And then last but not least, I decided to take the Harvest Blessings part that I had originally removed from the Harvest Blessings sign and hot glue it back on to the front of my little fluffy fun drink here, because the wording on this looks awesome and it's gray, so it fits perfectly into this. Even though I wanted it to be really adorable and say happy fall, y'all, it just didn't work out for me. I also used some of these cute little Dollar Tree wooden stickers. I hot glued them onto the front, and then of course you guys know me, I had to add a cute little Dollar Tree bow to the top, so I used a couple little Dollar Tree ribbons, threw together a quick bow, and voila, we have the most fabulous, cutest little Harvest Blessing sign. Now I'm sharing with you guys displaying it it outside, but I do have to go back and add a little tab to the top and also seal it if I decide to use it outside. I would think it would be really cute though in my coffee area, but I just thought it would be cute to share with you guys how it might look, you know, kind of in this setting with some cute little fall pillows and the little door hanger and all that good stuff. So as always, I ask that you guys comment and let me know what was your favorite DIY in this video and which one will you be attempting to recreate, and do you all have any happy little accidents? Comment down below and tell me what your best happy accident is, or what your funniest crafting accident is. I love to hear what you guys are up to, and I know you guys have been loving seeing my new puppy dog Bear, and let me tell you, this little guy is a handful. So I just had to give you this cute little kind of wiggle butt footage. This is him in the morning. I take him for a walk in the morning multiple times, but you know, he's so tiny that when I say take a walk, I mean, we kind of stroll down the street in front of our house, and that's as far as we go. And he really likes to stop and investigate many things, and I have to keep a really laser eye on him. But he is doing really well, and he also has a boy collar now. Finally, we were able to make a trip back to Walmart and get him a blue collar. This was all they had when we were there that was in his size. So I know it was driving my son crazy that he had a pink collar, but hey, he's manly enough to accept it. But anyway, I love y'all, and I thank you guys for being here. Say hello to little Bear.
So thank you all so much for joining me on another fun and fabulous crafty decor adventure. It is such a true blessing and an honor to have you all here. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click that bell. It will update you every time I post a new video. And I have been hosting tons of giveaways on my channel, as well as so many DIY crafty decor projects. I post 3 videos a week with tons, and I mean tons, of Dollar Tree DIYs. I just want you guys to know that you can have a fabulous, amazing home on a teeny tiny budget, and no matter where you're at with your crafting and decorating adventure, don't give up. Give yourself some grace and keep on going. I know so many of you all let me know that crafting and decorating just has been so good for your heart and soul, so just keep up the good work. So I also want to invite you guys over to my Olivia's Romantic Home Instagram page. I share behind the scenes sneak peeks of my little crazy crafty mama adventures, as well as some condensed DIY videos and just inspiration over there, and a good morning cup of coffee with you every morning. I'm a total morning person, so I just feel like every day is a beautiful, bright new gift that God has given us, so why not make the most of it, right guys? I also have an Olivia's Romantic Home Facebook page. I have a little group of you know, cool, crafty ladies over there. It's a little social group where everybody's posting photos of their home decor and DIY projects. You guys totally inspire me, so keep up the good work crafting and decorating and posting those photos. All you guys have to do is request to join. It's totally free. I'll approve your request, and you can post all of your wonderful ideas that I just love to see. So thank you guys for being over there. Anyway, I want to hug all of your hearts so tight. I'm wishing you a gorgeous, blessed day. I can't wait for the next video. And until then, remember, be kind to yourselves, guys, and be kind to one another. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.